Hello everyone, my name is Mohammed Alp. I'm the founder of awRAG-io. And in this video, I want to show you how you can use the awRAG Chrome browser extension to access your knowledge library from any AI platform. We start with the awRAG website. I've logged in. So you just log in first to your account. This is a test account. In my test account, I have a few projects set up. Here are a few documents. One is related to computational fluid dynamics and the other one is manufacturing and materials, just to test things. So you might have much more projects and documents. So now the first thing is we need the extension. Usually you would go to the extension marketplace in Chrome and just download and install it, or just install it. But at the moment, the awRAG browser extension is still in review on the Google side, so it's submitted. But I wanted to give users the functionality already, and that's why I offer users to download the actual extension file that they can just use to install it manually in their Chrome browser and then use it the same way as they would do if they installed it from the marketplace. So first thing, we go to the downloads section here in the user menu, and you will find this Chrome browser extension file. We will download it. It's downloaded. It's a very small file. It's only 72 or 73 kilobytes, as you can see. We open our downloads folder and unpack this zip file, and it gives us this dist folder. Here are all the files necessary. So what we need to do now is we go to the three dots in the Chrome browser here on the top right corner, and we find the entry extensions, and we go to extensions, manage extensions. Now we will see the extensions overview. I don't have any other extensions installed in my Chrome web browser. So now what we will do is we will go to load unpacked, this button. We click that button and we select this folder that we unpacked before and select it. That's it. Here is the awRAG browser extension. And now next thing is we need to connect it to our awRAG library. So we need a secure connection, and we will use the REST API interface of the awRAG web application. Sounds complicated, but it's very easy. We just need an API key. So I will show you this now. First, let me show you the extension. Now we have this extension puzzle because now we have an extension in our browser. We can click it and we can click on awRAG and we see the menu, and it asks us for the API key. That is what I was referring to before. So we need that API key. That's your personal key that we will create now in a few seconds. And you enter it here in order to have a connection, a secure connection to your awRAG knowledge library. So here is how you get your API key. You go to the user menu, you go to API keys. Now I tested one before. Let's just create a new one. We don't have to delete it, but I just want to do it the way you would see it for the first time when you want to create an API key. So now I pressed create API key and I can give it a name. Let's give it the same name, doesn't matter, generate key. So it's very important, this key will only be shown once. This means you need to copy it and make sure that you have it noted somewhere or copied it somewhere. And after it will not be shown again. So of course you can generate new API keys, but then you would need to set up the extension again. So copy this key. It's copied to the clipboard. Close this window. Go back to the extension and just paste it here. Sign in, and it's connected. You can see it draw the information from awRAG's backend about the projects that I have. And these are exactly the projects as we have it here. So it's the manufacturing, the CFD project, and the default project. The default project is momentarily empty, and it will show all of this information here in the menu. So it's okay to have all of them selected. So you allow the vector search to access all documents. You can select particular ones, or you just select all of them at once. It's up to you. So I'll choose all projects for now. And here are the instructions how to use it. So it says to me, just go to an AI platform. Let's go to an AI platform. Let's say ChatGPT. Here we go. And here we have the ChatGPT website. So now you will notice something here on the bottom right corner. That is because the awRAG extension has recognized and detected that you are on the ChatGPT side. And now it shows you the awRAG search button that is floating on the page. And you can use it later to start the search. We will see it in a second. Let me first start by, let's type a question. What is the importance of managing steel? So that's it. That's my question. So what I will do now is go back to the menu just to show you the instructions again. So we are on an AI platform. We typed a question. Now it says we need to trigger the search, right? So how do we make sure get our context or knowledge into this ChatGPT chat? So it gives us three options. The first option is I just click this one. The second option is I click this button here in the extension menu, or I just use a shortcut. It is Command-Shift-L for Mac users and Control-Shift-L for Windows users. So you have three options to trigger the search. In all three cases, it will trigger the same search process. Let's use the button here. So it will show you, notify you that it's searching. It's doing this vector calculations, but actually it's a multi-step process. It is based on the idea that it first analyzes your question and extracts concepts and phrases that are adequate for vector search. And it doesn't only take one concept, it has a multi-concept extraction feature. So if the question is very long, if there are interrelated multiple concepts in one question, then it will extract multiple concepts. Here in this case, it extracted two concepts. One is merging steel industrial applications and merging steel additive manufacturing advantages. So it gives you this context, and these parts, these chunks, are from documents from your library. And it only retrieves those that it calculated would be most meaningful and most relevant. And that is the idea behind making those vector calculations between your question or your query and the embedded information or the text chunks in the vector database. And this similarity calculation, it's a mathematical vector calculation. If it finds a high matching, a high score, it will rank them, and then there is a re-ranking on top, in order to give you the best results. And there are multiple things at the same time in the background. Here's one more thing that is important. You can ask the question in any language of your liking, and it will retrieve the right context, whatever language you use, be it in the question or the language of the documents. It doesn't matter. It is cross language. It's multi-language. So you can ask a Japanese question. You can ask a question in Japanese, and it will retrieve context from your English documents, or vice versa. Doesn't matter. That's I think a very important feature. So now I can just send this message as I would do with any message in ChatGPT, and ChatGPT now starts already. But now you decrease the likelihood of hallucination as well. It's not only convenient to be able to have one central place where all of your knowledge is stored meaningfully, and you can access it by natural language, and you can talk to your knowledge with natural language. That's of course the core idea behind it. You don't have to upload it at multiple places. You can access it from everywhere, and it's like a central hub of your knowledge. But at the same time, as you all know who has been working with AI assistants, it sometimes and in some circumstances tends to hallucinate. And this retrieval augmented generation technology, which awRAG is based on, is actually improving or decreasing the likelihood of hallucinations, thereby improving the accuracy of your interactions with AI. Now let's try another AI platform. Let's say Claude AI. Now it will detect it. It will detect the site, and the button will appear again, the floating awRAG search button. And we can ask another question here. So now let's try one of the other ways to trigger the search. So as I said, we can use the button. We can use this button here in the menu, or we just use the keyboard shortcut. And I will do that now. I will do Command, Shift, and L, and it triggered the search. So now it's extracting again appropriate phrases for the vector search. And let's see if it did find multiple concepts. Yes. So here are 2 concepts that it intelligently extracted from the question that it thinks would be good to use to make the vector search. So here we can see it retrieved those chunks from our knowledge library. It's very good to also see what it retrieved, and you can maybe delete things that you think are not appropriate. So now let's go back and just ask the question. So let's do Gemini now. So it detected already, and it has the same button here. Let's just use the same question here and say this time we use the button here just to have all 3 options tested once. So it triggered the search. You get the same concept extraction. And that is what awRAG is doing actually. It has a very deterministic way of intelligently extracting multiple concepts from your question. Now we have the chunks again. We can ask it, and here we go. Yeah, that's better. Oh, cool. It gave me actually images. That's very nice. Anyway, so it will of course base it on your context. So it will always be more precise answering your questions, of course, if you use your knowledge that you have uploaded to awRAG. So last but not least, Perplexity. So Perplexity has a tiny difference to the way we use it, this extension compared to the others. It's really a small difference. Let's use the same question again. Now, if we hit the button here again, it detected the Perplexity AI platform correctly. And now we use the button again. So now in this case, because there's things prohibiting injection, automatic injection from that extension into that input text field, and therefore we will need a little, one little step more. So it will do the same. And now it says context copied into your clipboard. So now you will just paste what is in your clipboard. But it's essentially the same thing. Just the fact that in this particular case in Perplexity, the extension is not able to automatically inject what it retrieved into your user input text field. You just need to paste it. This is just one additional tiny step. So we can just use it now, and that's it. Here we go. So here are the results based on our question and the context provided. So I hope this explanation video was easy to follow, and I hope you have fun with the awRAG browser extension tool to access your knowledge from any AI platform.